Good afternoon. Oh, wrong camera. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Friday with Fiona. And just one thing to remind you about, you've only got a week. Hang on, what is the day today? 20th. So a week tomorrow to add your coupon codes if you earn any in January, to add your coupon code to your order. And today is the last of 3 days of free shipping, so get that order in. I got mine in. Great time to stock up on adhesives, cardstock, and don't forget those in colours that will be retiring. The 5 Shy Shamrock. Let's start. Pretty in Pink, Peach Pie, Summer Splash, Shy Shamrock, and Petunia Pop. And I'm getting through mine. I've got a lot of Shy Shamrock to use up, but March is a good time to use that. So let's slip to my hands. There we go. So what I'm using today is the Cute as a Bug Suite, which includes the dies and stamp set, the Sweet Bugs. It also includes these Ladybug garden epoxy shapes. You can see the ladybugs there. I've buried my paper, which is very helpful. I got a delivery yesterday, which I just opened last night, but let's find the paper. So this is the Cute as a Bug Designer Series paper. I've got a little sampler here, so I can just flick through it and show you without getting it all out. So it's 12 by 12, and you have these cute, you've got snails, butterflies, beetles, ants, and then on the back you've got some oh, that's come apart. Let's stick that down. I don't know if that's a caterpillar or a worm, a dragonfly. These are whites, and someone said they're lily of the valley, but I've been doing them as bluebells because I love bluebells, so that's what I'm sticking to. Some berries with the bees on, and then this lovely, it's like a picnic blanket. Toadstools, and the dies, you get these aren't stamps, you get these extra toadstools, and one of the cards we're doing today is using that. And then on the back you've got another picnic blanket, another caterpillar, butterflies, berries. Oh, is that one on twice? Must put that one in twice. Must be missing no, I haven't put it in twice, have I? It's different colours. How sneaky. It's got calypso coral in it, and then you've got the flowers there, different flowers. So beautiful, beautiful papers. So I'm using the paper. I am stamping, and I've die cut. And the other thing that I'm using are these Assorted Memories and More cards. I wanted to use note cards and I didn't have any. And then I found this pack, which I'd completely forgotten about. So there's two sides of cards. There's the little cards and then there's the larger cards. So I'll show you what I've done with those. Now, I did have a pack of something else that I was going to use, but I've mislaid them, so I'll scratch that idea. So which one? That's the toadstools. That's going to be number 3. And that's number 2. Let's start with the big one first. Okay, so this is using the larger card. This is what I did. I did it. Some of the let's get the paper. It's easier than trying to. I can't speak today, so one of the sheets, you get 2 each of the sheets. You get these. They're almost like card fronts, right? So that was the one that I used. And that's the one I'm using today. So I've kept this so that I can cut it out for your kits. So it just makes life so much easier. So I've cut it down. This one I did in Blackberry Bliss. So it's a thick card. Blackberry Bliss backing. And then I cut that down. It was 6 inches, but I've cut it down. I need to get my measure. So the card is 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. So then my Blackberry Bliss is 6 1/8, and then should be 4 1/8, And then my designer series paper is 6 by 4, just to make it easy, really. And the other thing that's in this suite is this ribbon, this Rick Rack ribbon. I'm going to do it slightly different on this one because, in fact, I don't think I'm going to use it. I needed to put this picture up on dimensionals, really, because we've got this kind of layer here, which I don't think really worked. It's fraying as well. So, and I stamped and coloured this little ladybird, and I've got some spares of that. And then I put some of the designer series paper on the flap, and that was the reverse of this piece. So this is our first card. So hopefully I've got everything ready. So here we go. I've got and I've already cut it down. And this one I've got pumpkin pie to pick out the pumpkin pie from the butterfly. I think it's Old Olive I think it's Mossy Meadow, actually. And then I've got the colours on the back. Oh, there's Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. So yeah, I think the paler colour, it's almost like stamped off Mossy Meadow. Okay, so I'm going to use Seal Plus just to make sure it doesn't come away. And I'm going to do it in the 4 corners. In the middle. And then I'm going to pop it onto this pumpkin pie. And you're just getting kind of a taste of the pumpkin pie. It's not a huge frame. Yeah, I need to trim that down a bit. I'm just thinking what to do with that Rick Rack, whether I wrap it round it. There we go, that's better. Okay. Could go along the bottom there. Let's have a look, see. Or whether I just leave it. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it because it's this is a whole story in itself. We don't need to do anything else to it. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is add that to my card base. So you see how really quick and simple they've given us by making that little storyboard. Okay, and then the same thing. It's going to have a bit of a wider. Just going to make sure that I'm recording okay. It doesn't look like I am. I don't know why. This is weird. Yes, I am. Fantastic. Last week, for some reason, it didn't record to Facebook. It only went to YouTube. So, but this week, yay, thumbs up. Okay, I'm trying to get it same either side. There we go. Okay, now I've got at the back of my dies, I've got the extra ones that I die cut and coloured. Come on, you don't want to come out. I was thinking he could go, you won't see it, but he could go over there. But I want the leaf to be shadowing them, not him, so that doesn't really work. Now let's see if I can get these out. Nope, they don't want to come out. They really don't want to come out. Hooray! There we go. I cut some spares and I've already coloured them in, so you don't need to sit and watch me. And this is, it's lovely. Really, really love this. I just love this. I'm going to do some just with that. Next week is my monthly online workshop. So I do a bit more, and I'm going to do another one on some different stuff with this. Yeah, cute, cute, cute. So I thought he could be sitting there reading his book and go over the top of that ant. Now I could use dimensionals, but everything else is flat. So I think we'll stick with it being flat. But just to give it a little bit more. And that's because I'm a great reader and I love to have books. There we go. And then if we take the these little, where's my card gone? So what I did on this one, I don't know if you can see it. So you've got these ladybugs birds. We call them ladybirds. The Americans call them ladybugs, which is why they're called ladybugs. And then you've got these clear little circles. So on my caterpillar, I've got 1, 2, 3. I don't even think you can see them. No, you can't. But I know they're there. And then I've gone over with some Wink of Stella to dress him up. But what we're going to do is I'm going to have some ladybugs climbing up this plant. I keep saying ladybugs because that's what they've called it, but we call them ladybirds. Ladybirds. Right, let's have one there. And I'm going to have one over here because we need odd number. We need 3. If that's Alex watching, hello. If it's Shari watching, hello. Just say hi. Number 2. I'm going to go through these in no time tomorrow. By the time I've done my workshop next week, the pack will be gone. And then let's put one here right at the top of this flower. There we go. So how quick and simple was that for card number 1? And I'll just show you, is that my envelope? It is my envelope. Just quickly show you how I did the envelope. Where's my piece that I've already cut? Doesn't look like... That's not wide enough. Nope, that's not wide enough. That was the bit I used. Is that wide enough that way? Oh, it might be. Yes, okay, use that bit. So what I do is I put it under the flap, and I'm just going to mark with a pencil the widest bit, which is there. The pencil doesn't work. Just mark the widest bit there. Okay, and I can cut that off. It's so quick and easy to do. Like I used to do these a lot, and I've kind of got out of the habit of it. It's also a great way to use up excess design series paper. There we go. Okay, so now what I do is I'm going to pop this on my flap, and I'm going to use Seal. Seal Plus this is actually, I should be using Seal. Let's swap over because this is really expensive. And then right round the flap, there we go. And then I'm going to line this up with the crease. Fold it over, make sure, yeah, there we go. You can see my pencil mark there. And then I'm just going to cut around. I found these scissors yesterday in a drawer, so they're quite old, and I thought, oh great, another pair of snips, but actually they are quite stiff. Probably because they've been sat in a drawer. Could actually have done the... Oh no, the bugs were going the wrong way, so there we go. And that's it. Your envelope is decorated. So that's card 1. And that's the large of the Memories and More cards. Okay, so card number 2, I'm using the smaller one. Now what you could do with this one is you could actually do this size, and that was what I was going to do, but I can't find... Oh, here they are. Yeah, I was going to use these. This is a new product in the mini catalogue. Embossed Designs Mix and Match. So this one I've just done as a small card. So I think it's 3 3¼ by 4¼ so it's fine, we can post that. But I'm going to open this, and I'm going to do my one, and then I'm going to make it the centerpiece of a regular sized card. If I can get into this. Told you these scissors are not brilliant. Okay, and these are, what are they called? embossed designs. They've got like a, if I can get into it, oh dearie me. Oh, that's lovely. Like corrugated. There we go. It's just to. And then the envelopes. Oh, there's different ones. So those are lines. Lines. And then we've got dots. Can you see those? Maybe not. See them on the envelopes. So I want a lined envelope for this one. And let's see how many is in this pack. 20. So 10 cards and 10 envelopes. Perfect. Okay. So I don't need to decorate my flap there because it's been embossed. Can you see that? Oh, lovely jubbly. Right, get my bond folder. Okay, where's my bond folder? Oh, there it is. It's gone missing. There we go. Just gonna give that a good crease. And so I'm going to remake this and then it'll go on as the centerpiece. So we'll see how it works. And give that a good crease. Okay. So everything, what have I done with everything? Oh, here it is. So that is in a little envelope. And then this one. No, because it's going to go on a card front now, I'm not going to need it folded in half. So I'm going to trim this down. So this is the 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. 3 1/4. I'm trying to cut down the so now I've got a spare bit of card for something else, for another project. Okay, so I've got Mossy Meadow, which I've cut down to 3 by 4, and then so I took the I can't remember what you call these, the flowers. They're not flowers, but you blow on them and they fall apart. You used to do it as a child. I've cut this down to 2 7/8 by 3 7/8, and so we just need to layer that. And I have used the Rick Rack on this one, so before I glue that down, let's get the Seal Plus again. And I just propped him up on the little bee, and that's cut from Designer Series paper. So this one is all about the Designer Series paper. Okay. And we're popping it onto Mossy Meadow. And then I've put a layer of Rick Rack. Again, I don't think it goes with this card, so I'm going to leave it. It went with that one across the base of the tree trunk, but it kind of doesn't with this one. It's about knowing when to use your embellishments. So now I can just glue this straight on. The only thing is this white is a different shade of white. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see quite clearly. However, not much of it is going to be visible. So let's do our Seal Plus. Just need to trim this fraction one side and the top. Oops. Go. And then I'm going to layer that with dimensionals. Let's cut this. I love using the edges of the dimensionals. Here we go. Put that in the middle. And then cut that one in half. Top and whoops, bottom. There we go. You see how quick and easy using these, I mean, you could cut the designer series paper up, but they've given you these little sections, so just great to make some really, really quick, especially if you've got someone's, you find it's someone's birthday and you've forgotten it and you just need a quick card. Great. And then using this card base as well. So let's pop that in the middle, like so. Now, I did love you lots on that one. What other sentiments have we got? Hello, friend. Spread joy. Yeah, I think spread joy. What should we use? How about hello, friend? You don't have to use the sentiments on here, obviously. You can use, I might just do hello, actually. Get my stamping positioner. And I need a little piece of white card. Put that under there. Where am I going to put it? Put it on that black line. I'm just going to do the hello, which is tricky. Okay. This is where the ink spots kind of come into their own. What colour have I got here? I've got Mossy Meadow. No, that's only espresso. Okay, I'll have to use. Do you know what? I'm going to use a marker because I just want it on the hello. I know the markers have retired, but the individual, I think the individual black ones are still available. I will check. Yeah, that's stamped. Okay, so let's redo that, and then I'll get a little piece of white card. Or maybe a piece of Mossy Meadow. Should have thought this through, but I didn't. Okay. There we go. And then I can just cut that down. Just quickly clean this. And this is how I'm storing my, in the new design. What I'm doing is, I tried stamping them and everything and it was just a whole mess. So now I go around with a marker on the thicker bit of the cellophane. This is a thick bit, not the flimsy bit. And then I know where to put them and I know if any are missing. So that's how I'm doing it. I'll just pop it back in there. Okay. Right, so now I'm just going to There we go. And across the top. If you want it to be perfect, you could use your trimmer. And I'm just going to put a little flag on that. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to cut it because it's not quite. Let's do that. And let's do that. across there. So I need some mini dimensionals. We'll put that across there, like so. Okay, there you go. So originally it was this size, love you lots, and I used this picture with the tree trunk, and I sat my, and this is from designer series paper, whereas this one I stamped and punched out, and you can see I've coloured the book brown, whereas they've used, I think, Pool Party. And then this one, that's also designer series paper, but this time I've put it as the centerpiece on a larger sized card, and that's one of these ones with the embossed texture, and then the flap has also got embossing on it. Okay, right, so that's card 2. Moving on. Oh yes, now I don't know if this is my favorite. I think it might well be. I've got lots of little bits here that I need to be careful not to lose. So I'm going to do it on a small sized card, and I did decorate the envelope on this one using the fruits, and I just it's kind of clean and simple with a layer, but yeah, I think this is my favorite. I did the hello there on its own again, so maybe we'll leave it blank this time. So I've die cut my let's show you the dies. It should be in the back actually. So I've die cut these two in Crumb Cake, and then that's in Poppy Parade, and that's in Darling Duckling, and then my leaf, this leaf stem, is in Granny Apple Green. Okay, and then I've got this die here, is a 3-in-1. It gives you a butterfly, a snail, and a dragonfly. And I've done them in white, and then I'm going to just take my blending brush and some ink and colour them. And I also need to colour my the middle of the card, and I just did that with soft sea foam. So let's get soft sea foam, and then I want Darling Duckling, and no, I don't want Darling Duckling because that's the colour of the, let's have Peach Pie and Misty Moonlight. That's fine, they go together. Stampin' Up colours always go together, which is what I love about them. Okay, let's just make some space. Okay, get these scissors out of the way. I need to get them sharpened, I think. Put them away. Okay, that marker can go away, making some space. Right, so first things first, let's glue these, and they can be drying while we're doing that. So that's the, oops, Darling Duckling. Okay, and then this is the Poppy Parade. Whoops daisy. Right, they can be drying on my silicone mat just off to the side there, and then that's, and then these ones have got to be coloured. So let's do, oh, I didn't get a brown for my snail. I get Crumb Cake for the snail. Are snails brown or are they green? I don't know. Anyway, what have I got here? Purple, brown. I don't want purple. Brown and green. I've got, and then I need blue. Blue. Okay, what have I got here? Green. That's green. So the butterfly is going to be peach pie. The snail is going to be crumb cake. So let's make... Oh no, I'm not doing this. I'm doing the middle of the card. That's what I'm doing. Okay. So I'm just getting some ink on my blending brush. Get the worst of it off. And it's soft seafoam, so it is going to be very light. I don't want it to be too dark. Let's just do it once more. There we go. That should be plenty. Okay, that's that one. Soft seafoam was there. Oops. Then, so that's my green one. Then I want to do my snail in crumb cake, so brown. Can you tell I used it on blue instead of brown, but it's dry. It's so small. Okay, that's enough brown. There we go. That's enough brown. And that's crumb cake. Last time I used pecan pie and I thought it was a bit too dark, but now I'm not sure. We'll see what it looks like at the end. And then, oh, blue. Peach pie, is that orange? Yeah. Blue is going to be the dragonfly, which is the wrong way around. There we go. My ink pad's going a bit funny. Where's it gone? Oh. There we go. That's the dragonfly. And then I need to get my orange brush. I need to get one new ink pad on that. That's definitely gone a bit funny. Pink, red. Oh, I haven't got an orange. Do I have an? I have an orange in the big one. So I need to get another small one. I think they only do them in packs of 3, but that's okay. Here we go. That's better. I wasn't catching it with the ink, so now all we've got to do is put it together. Okay, I don't want to lose it, so let's just get that up to the corner. Okay, so there's where I used the soft sea foam. Now just realised I should have used adhesive sheets on the diddy things, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to use green glue. Which doesn't want to come out. There we go. Okay, I'm going to leave that to one side for a few minutes, and then that will become tacky, because where it's got these little gaps, it comes through. And the same for these diddy little ones, because they are tiny. Yeah, I have a feeling the crumb cake's going to be too light, but I think the peak, I don't know, snails might even need to be green. Right, so let's put a dot on there, and a dot on there, and a dot there, and a dot there. Okay, and we'll give that a few minutes to dry. In the meantime, these have dried, and I'm going to put a dimensional at the top, and then glue the bottom. So let's do them the other way around this time. Let's see what that looks like. Because I felt my what do you call it, branch there. Okay, that's that. And then that one's going like that. And we need a dot of glue on the bottom, which I forgot to do. Whoops, that is rather a lot. Okay, now I'm going to take my branch. I'm going to put my branch up the middle actually. There we go. And now I'm going to take my, oh, that was the other thing. I took my white Singlo pen and I just did some white dots. Like so. Cute. Right, let's put these on now. So the butterfly can be fluttering around here, as can the dragonfly. Let's have the dragonfly come in the other way. There we go. And the snail is going to go on top of the toadstool. There we go. Oh, that's lovely. Definitely my favourite. You could frame that. I actually would frame that. I'm not going to put a sentiment on because I think it's nice as it is. I used a dimensional on that one, but the snail is not sitting properly. That's why I've put him on there. See, I think crumb cake is too light and pecan pie is too dark, so it's kind of getting the right balance. I just love that. Really do love that. It's my favourite card. So that's card 3, and I did decorate the envelope, so you saw how to do that. Then card 2 originally was that size, and then I made it the focal point on that textured something card base, and then here was card 1 with the 2 big stories and the lovely ladybird dots. Okay, so don't forget, when you spend £30 in my shop, I will send, by close of business, not close of business, by midnight on Tuesday the 24th, I will send you everything you need. So the designer series paper, the card stock, the card base, the die cuts. The only thing that's not, you won't get the additional stamped ones, but I can give you the designer series paper, and I won't stamp the sentiments for you, but I will give you some ribbon. So yeah, spend £30. And it's free shipping today, so great opportunity until 10:30 p.m. tonight. Great opportunity to get some stuff and get a free kit. Anyway, I want to wish you a lovely weekend, and I hope the weather's better for you wherever you are than here. It's pouring. Have a great weekend. I hope you can join me for my online workshop next Friday. Bye.